Okay. Has anybody got any questions on this overall process? Oh yeah, by the way, this is very informal. If anybody wants any more coffee and things, just get up and get it. Any questions on how this operates? Or observations
I
of...
suppose it's quite flexible, isn't it? Because you can take, if you've got like one little task that they've done, then you just literally want to just say thank you.
Yeah.
Or if they've worked really hard on a big, massive project and it's going to result in a bigger,
Yeah.
Bigger kind of thing.
You could do it on trivial, major, you could do it to individuals, groups, you could use it for a formal presentation, you could use it for shortening your testimonials for BNI, because it gives you a ready-made structure. You could use it for writing a letter of thanks to somebody. I did an email of thanks not long ago. I ordered some strings from a company and put the order in on Thursday afternoon, and the strings arrived 9 o'clock on Friday morning. So I wrote them an email saying, I ordered the strings on Thursday afternoon, they arrived 9 o'clock. I'm delighted with your service, thanks very much. Boom, that's it. Yes, you.
Well, it's all good, but I like number 4, appropriate praise and recognition. Everybody likes to be praised and recognised if they've done a good job.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it's a bit like dog training. I've got my pocket full of dog training. I walk the dog with his jacket. And when you're on dog training, and you get the dogs to do something, whatever it is, sit or leave, and then you tell them to go, you reward them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
so by reward, not with dog biscuits, but by
the appropriate, yeah.
kind of reward, like just commendation, even without the certificate or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I'll put a note on your file and everything. I think it's
yes.
really good.
People
Sometimes this can get neglected because you're that busy wrapped up in work.
Yeah.
And
they're paid to do it anyway.
You work, so they're just going along, and sometimes you can forget that. So
yes, it is very easily overlooked. And the consequences of overlooking it can be quite dire. Staff turnover is just the tip of the iceberg.
How do you avoid them starting to pay rises though? Because if you get
that's what I
if you start saying how well we do it, they're going to start thinking, well, thanks for saying thank you, but it's not going on my paycheck.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Any ideas about how you would avoid contaminating the praise with dirty money? Yes, you.
Make sure that you keep them above the minimum wage level.
Well, yeah, there is that. Yeah. You should pay people above minimum wage anyway, because
you have a structured appraisal system which might have implications for.
Yeah. You would remind them that this is not the context in which pay awards, if any, given the current circumstances, are awarded, but behaviour of this sort, or performance or improvement of this sort, is certainly a contributory factor when these decisions are made. So I'm putting this note in your file. There's no guarantees, but every positive helps. Yeah.
We have every 3 months we get an appraisal, and we get feedback from the customers, and all the girls all know that the one who gets the best appraisals back from the customers, they get extra in the pay packet that week, not a pay rise, but they get extra.
There's sort of weekly bonus.
Once every 3 months.
Okay. There are some issues with that sort of structured reward process which might need thinking about, but in general, the more testimonials you got, or the better feedback you got, the richer you're going to be. I would prefer that the praise and recognition was uncontaminated with money, but you've got a slightly separate process anyway, so that helps keep them separate. Yeah. What you're looking at is behaviour rather than behaviour for specific reward. Because in order to be most effective, this sort of reward has to be unexpected.
Is there a number of times you would recommend you do this?
Well, yeah. Whenever necessary. There might be some people where you have to do it very regularly, very frequently. Not regularly, but frequently as a need arises. As opposed to some people who are pottering along with their jobs and doing it nicely and don't need so much. Now, this sounds like you're building up to thinking, oh, this could be a hell of a lot of work. what has been found with studies of the psychology of this is that when you are changing behaviour by the application of reward, initially you need a reward frequency which is quite frequent. Sheila, with training dogs, you'll know that initially you need to reward them almost every time.
Yeah.
As time progresses, you tail off the reward. And they do it anyway, and just one every now and again will satisfy them. In fact, you can train animals like caged rats and things to press levers for food pellets, and you can actually train them to the extent that they will expend more energy on pressing this lever than they get out of the food pellet that they receive at the end of it, because you've reduced the reward schedule. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should treat your people like trained rats, but the same psychological principles apply. So you can tail it off after that initial effort. But some people, if you're going to bring them round, they may need extra effort. So you'll probably find that 20% of your staff need 80% of your effort. The 80-20 rule applies to almost everything in life. Okay? So the other 80% of your staff only get 20% of your attention, because that's all they need, because they're getting on with it. Right. Now, all that is required is for you to have an opportunity to see it in practice, isn't it? So, what I would like you to do on a scrap of paper somewhere is, for your own particular circumstances, jot down a situation that you know of that has happened or is looming, or a person that you're dealing with, or some sort of situation where you think it might be useful to do this form of praise and recognition. I will give you all the help you need, don't worry about it, and it's not role play, it's something else which is simpler and easier. Jill, in role, what are you most likely to do as a result of this discussion? Sheila, did you achieve your objective? Right. Now, from the floor, give Sheila some feedback about things, about the various steps. How did step 1 go? Has anyone got any feedback on it? So, Sheila, overall, you got through step 1, you said all the right things. Step 2, you said the right things very well, delivered the appropriate praise and recognition, and Jill felt good about what you'd done. So,
she feel good as well, because I know her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, thanks very much, Sheila. Well done. Much less painful than role play and such, where people get competitive and they try and act. Right, final few points. When you're going to do praise, tack it on to the behaviour that you want to reinforce as soon as you possibly can. Don't leave it to fester. Nail it now and reinforce it now. Keep it pure. Don't contaminate the process with any other considerations other than making this person feel good. Don't try and make the person feel good by making other people sound bad. Keep it positive all the time, and that's where your planning comes in, to go through those 5 steps, sort out the kind of words you're going to be using, what kind of reactions you're likely to have, how you'd respond to those reactions, and as with any other management activity, if you fail to plan it, you're planning to fail it. So plan it, even if it's only going to last 2 minutes. And I hope you've seen today that it works. And I apply the same sort of intensity and practice, with a few more runs through, on all the other modules that do as part of the program. And I'll just bring to your attention the fact that to train a manager in using that whole range of techniques, not just praise and recognition, but everything from delegation through to coaching, will cost about 250 quid a manager. Compare that with the cost of replacing one person who's either accidentally been let go or who has been fired because their performance could have been brought round but it wasn't. Okay? For that, I can train 20 managers. It's a no-brainer to me. I'd be very happy if you were to pass that word to all your clients.
How long did you say the course to?
It's variable. In overall content, it's about 2 to 2.5 days, depending on if it's long days or spread out modules, half days and so forth. But about 2.5 days worth. It can be delivered in half-day chunks. That can be 5 half-day chunks all in one go, or it can be half a day a week, or it can be spread out over longer periods, under which circumstances I usually recommend that they have some sort of follow-up process for the tasks done the previous week. And I go in and talk to the people who are doing it and see how they're getting on in real life. So there's an extra coaching bit on top of that. Now that you know what they do, because I think it needed some explanation, please go out and spread the word that it is available and the managers don't have to suffer. And certainly the staff don't have to suffer. Okay, well thanks very much folks. I very much appreciate it.